Hello everybody, it's William here. So, this short video, I'm going to share with you one tip if you are generating, say, fire and smoke simulation. So, I already got a domain here, and the domain is gas, and we got a pretty decent resolution, 32. It's not too big, okay, but hopefully we can get a better result than that. And we get this yeah, let me got this cube here because that is flow, and we can change the flow type from smoke to fire and smoke. So yeah, you got the idea. And I think this is just one-time thing, so let me just get an inflow so to continue to flow and generate fire, and I think that's pretty good. Remember, I'm using replay here, so it's real-time rendering. We're not just bake it and do it. And of course, remember, I got the domain, and I use this sort of adaptive domain, so it can flow pretty high. Yeah, it can flow pretty high. But that's not what we're going to talk about, because yeah, this is all that is pretty clean shade, right? But what if I like it to be more detailed? Okay, there's one tip. You can change the resolution, of course, but there's another way of doing that, is to add noise, because this is pretty boring sort of a simulation. But if you add a noise, it'll be much more interesting. So let's just check this out. If you just click the noise, of course, this is a common thing that we will encounter. If you click the noise, we say, well, what about where's all this smoke? We can't see that, right? It's just simply gone. The reason for that is that if you just click the little icon here, chevron icon, okay? So you can see that we got more options here. And because we use replay, and they just start baking automatically. That's the great thing about Blender. And you checked, go to the start, and you play, still it's generate, okay? It's just become pretty slow. The reason for that is that it's baking, okay? So this is just one way of doing it, and even though you just see a few seconds, a few frames of simulation, you already can see the difference because you add noise in it, okay? It's not so boring. It's sort of give you a mixture and sort of a turbulence inside of it. And speaking of turbulence, we're going to adjust that by adjusting noise. So let's just talk about why you click it, check it, and it's gone, okay? So this is without noise, this is with noise, so you can clearly see the difference. It's sort of like adding a disturbance in it. Personally, I love it because this is more natural, like, because we got lots of wind swirling inside, okay? This is like a simulation, okay? This is more like the real life scenario, okay? And the reason for that is that because you already got this replayed button selected, so it's the rendering baking in real time. But what if you use modular, okay? So if you click this noise, you can see that we got this bake noise bottom appeared. And of course, you need to check is resumable, okay? Then you can bake. You need to bake this base data first. So you bake the fire and smoke first, and then you bake this noise later, and then you can check this out. But that's not good for demonstration. So you just need to know that if you get a pretty complex project and you want to do that step by step, and you want to bake it first, render it, view this rendered later, you can do that. But for demonstration purpose, let's just go back to replay, okay? So just go to the, this is I think this is sort of a simple, this is got a noise here. So this is a simple one. Let me show you. This is a simple simulation, pretty boring, nothing too fancy about that. And I even got an adaptive domain here. Let me just take a resolution 0, margin, let me just call it 0, and threshold 0.02. I think this is default one. Okay, so let's go back, and this will give you much quicker process speed, as I already discussed in previous video. But that's not interesting. Let's add noise so you guys can compare. The reason for it appeared is that you are at the 19.5 frame, and yeah, you haven't baked that yet. So you go to the beginning of it, you already can see the difference, right? Because this much they already baked. Okay, and you can pause it at any time and denoise it. Okay, so this is pretty smooth. Adding noise, yeah, you get a pretty bad smoke coming out, and I think that's more expressive. Okay, and the more the smoke going up, the more you can see the disturbance. Okay, especially the mixture of this area. Okay, the mixture of this area. This is pretty fake. Adding that, well, this is like a building on fire. Okay, so that's the reason why I recommend and why I like the noise. And the noise scale is sort of like the adding resolution to original simulation. So the 2 is pretty low, and this is the default one. So if I added that to say maybe 8, okay, so this will give your computer a pretty hard time, because you're going to do that all over again. But this time the render is the baking, sorry, I always mixed, so sometimes use that interchangeably. The baking process become pretty big, and the resolution become much higher. The reason for that is that you got this this one changed. I think this just got stuck here. Yeah, I don't want it to crash, so let me just pause that, and let me just show you guys this one. Okay, so this noise scale is like the sort of compared to the base resolution, I think this same is pretty good. So it's like the it subdivide the original resolution. Okay, so it's sort of upscale that to a certain level, so it become more detailed. So even though you got pretty low resolution at the base 32, still you upscale that. Okay, so you get a pretty high resolution, as you guys can see, and the render time is just become pretty slow, time become pretty long, and I think you already can see that. Okay, so it's same, it's nearly the same as the basic one. So yeah, okay, so yeah, nothing too fancy about that. Let me just go back to 2, and this will give you much quicker noise generation. Okay, but already it can give you a pretty decent result. And this one I think is pretty interesting, is that the disturbance, you can treat the strength, sorry, this is subdivision. The strength is like the strength of the noise. Okay, so you want the disturbance to be big, strength pretty strong, or pretty small. Okay, so let me show you. If you got that to 8, you compare that. Okay, you got pretty big disturbance, because the strength is pretty big. It's like you are it's like an explosion. Okay, but the result is not too good. So let me just lower that a little bit. This is like why it's firing and you got a lot of explosion going on. Unless you simulate that, my recommendation is that do not set that too high, because the result is not so good. This is yeah, it's like we got a lot of it going on inside, and we got a lot of things to burn. yeah, but the final result is not so good unless you want that way. In fact, I think 2 or 1 will be pretty decent. 1, okay. So yeah, this just like normal fire burning. Okay, that's already pretty good. Okay, and this scale one is even interesting. Is that the scale of noise, and I treat it as a disturbance factor. Okay, so if you got a pretty low, and you got a pretty small disturbance inside, and I didn't think that is good simulation. I sometimes put it pretty high, so you already see this too. Let me set it to 8. You can see the results. Okay, so the disturbance become pretty big. Okay, so it's like a wind blowing inside of it, and so you can see that we got a huge disturbance here and there, something like that. Okay, so if you set it, I think I set it too high, maybe 4 would be the better one. That depending on the basic scale of the original thing. Okay, so I think this one. Okay, I think this one is pretty interesting. Okay, this one is pretty good, right? When you compare that with the normal without noise. Okay, so if you denoise it is something like this, it's pretty fake. This adding disturbance, I think result is better. Okay, because the smoke is uncontrollable. It's like we got a wind blowing, we got a lot of things going on, and you sort of take in consideration of this and that. Okay, so yeah. And yeah, don't forget the last one, time. This time I seldom use it. Okay, animation time with noise. I tested a little bit. I changed a lot, but the result is not even human eye indistinguishable. So you can't see the difference. So yeah, I seldom use that. I think the scale and strength I use a lot. This one I sometimes just use the default. Okay, so yeah, this way you can make your simulation much more expressive and so-called less fake, if you will. Okay, so yeah, that's all about the noise. And my personal suggestion is that yeah, do adding some of the noise. Okay, because that will make your simulation a little bit more interesting than the original one. Okay, and if you're still there, my name is William, and thanks to you guys for supporting my channel. And if you think my video is helpful, please give me a thumb up and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscription goal here, so yeah, it really helped me a lot to give me a thumb up, subscribe to my channel. Okay, so yeah, thank you guys, and see you in the next video. Bye.